Warning: the following program is intended for mature audiences only. It may contain explicit language, adult talk, and actions not suitable for younger listeners. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy the show.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, to the No Game Plan podcast again. Episode 17, Jim.
Cruising right along here.
Episode 17.
Wild card weekend ended. We're going to be talking some of those games as well as the upcoming divisional games, so should be a good one.
Yeah, we're also in a new venue. We're in our friend's basement. We also do have two guests.
We have a returning guest.
We have a returning guest from last episode, and then his brother as well is going to be joining us today. Jake and Brady.
Come on in.
To the pod, boys. Round of applause for the boys. Brady's back.
How's it going, everyone?
Jake. Nice to see you again, bud. Brady, glad to have you back again.
Welcome back.
And again, we got
welcome
two
to the pod.
Mics, so we're just going to be sharing. I know you guys are probably like, what the hell's going on, but that's fine.
Budget, yeah. Budget cuts.
Yeah, budget. We're trying to cut budgets, so, you know.
Say that. 2 subscribers to live stream.
Yeah, 3 subscribers to a live stream. We have 47. We need 50. Please help us out. We want to do a live stream soon.
I think I've got like
For the championship games, maybe, or something.
There you go.
Championship games would be cool if we could make that work.
Yep.
Or
Super Bowl live stream, that'd be sick.
I might be able to cover that subscription thing. I got a bunch of emails I probably could be able to subscribe to, so I should be good. But yeah, definitely.
That goes for you guys too. If you got multiple emails, subscribe with all of them.
Subscribe anyway. This podcast is going places.
Oh yeah, you heard it here first, folks.
Trying to make it go
out,
places.
Yeah, make
dude.
it out the basement.
All right, well, what do you think, boys? Dive into the wild card, go over a little overview, and then we'll dive into the divisional round, folks. All right?
What was that first game?
The first game was very good. It was Rams and Panthers.
Oh,
Very surprisingly good game. I think we all took the Rams, so we got that one correct. Yeah.
Very good game.
Anything
Yeah,
else
go
to
for
add?
it.
Yeah, the Panthers put up a way more of a fight than I thought. But obviously, I feel like I remember saying this. I picked the Rams, but I also said that Bryce Young would learn a lot from this game, and he probably will be back if the Panthers make the right moves. I can see it happening. They did it. They're in a shitty division, so, it'll happen. But yeah, kudos to the Panthers. Kudos to Bryce Young, and unfortunate drop there kind of stalled the game at the last play. Didn't really give him a shot to. They lost by 3 to tie it, that drop. They would have maybe got him closer to field goal range. But, unfortunate stuff happens. You got a home playoff game, so that's all you want. But, yeah, Rams won.
I would say Bryce Young is legit. It was a very good performance by Bryce Young. He looked like he'd been there before. The atmosphere, like Brady was said with a home playoff game, the Panthers fans showed up, showed out. Even when they were down, seemed like they never lost faith. If I'm a Rams fan, I would be a little worried about how that defense performed. Was it 30-something points by the Panthers?
Something like that.
That's not – I don't know. I wouldn't be too proud of that. And to be honest, it was the Panthers muffed the punt early. They had a muff punt early in the first half, which led to points. And they were driving down the field on, like, their second or third drive, and was it Coker just stopped running, and then it ended up being an interception.
He had a legacy game.
He did. After that, he did have a great game.
I'm not even going to lie to you, ladies and gents. I had him in my parlay and then just, removed him. I had him, 40-plus yards, and he had, 150 fucking yards. I'm like, dude.
Yeah. No, he did have
He's,
a
up and
legacy
coming,
game.
guys. Up and coming talent
But
right there.
that just stopping that route, leading to that interception, killed the drive, led to points the other way. I mean, just a few mistakes and then I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
if they didn't make those few mistakes, they could be playing this weekend. But Rams offense is scary.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
Even if they might have had an off day.
Next game what was the next
It
game?
was the
again?
Packers and the Bears.
Packers and the Bears.
Very, very good day of football.
Crazy game. I thought I was looking good. I picked the Packers to win. They were winning 21-3, and I
Caleb
thought I was going to
Williams
get
is
that
the
pick
fucking
right.
truth, dude. Caleb Williams is
And
actually elite.
I was completely wrong. Cardiac Bears strike again.
Yep. Ben Johnson strikes again.
Yeah, this was a hell of a game. Obviously, me and Caleb here picked the Bears.
Started 2-0.
Although that was one of them where I thought, the Packers are a team. It's a divisional game, so anything goes, similar to how the Niners and Seattle might go this weekend, but we'll get into that. But the Bears played all-around great game. They minimized a lot of mistakes, especially maybe ones that they committed early. But hell of a game by Caleb Williams. And it was just so fun to watch that night. So fun to watch. Great first day of wildcard games was last Saturday.
Yeah, and Jordan Love looked good to start, though. It wasn't his fault. He had 4 touchdown passes, I believe. And, the start of the game kind of looked like how they played against the Cowboys a couple years ago. And, I don't know, like you said, cardiac Bears strike again. Caleb Williams is legit. Colston Loveland had a great game as well, so...
I was one touchdown away from $215.
Gonna be a great game this week.
I really wish he scored at the end.
Of course, he
I
had
was
a 2-point
hoping for
conversion,
it.
though.
I was watching the game, standing up, hoping for Colson Loveland touchdown because I would have made a $215. I was one leg off. I got the Christian Watson touchdown at the very beginning, and everything else hit. But that's how betting goes, guys. It just never goes in your favor.
So I really thought it was just going to be another case of the 7-seed Packers. I thought they were going to be the only team to win as a 7-seed again.
I can say he was saying that all game. We watched it together. He was saying the 7-seed Packers a lot.
It was. I thought it was a case of the 7-seed Packers.
I bet he was.
Matthew Golden, rookie, he had an unbelievable game. Matthew Golden looked very good. He's going to
Finally.
He's going to be good. I know it took a while, but he's going to be. I mean, he looked good. He's going to be a problem. The Bears look good at the very end, but I don't know how much longer it'll hold up. Just coasting along till the end and then picking it up in the fourth quarter. But I don't know how much longer that'll carry on. But good win.
I don't think the Bears will last much longer just because their defense has been pretty bad, especially the end of the year. They haven't been playing all that well. They did get a couple stops at the end, but I don't think they played well enough to stop the Rams this week.
Caleb Williams did look good, though. He made some big superstar plays. He really turned up.
He had he had one of the best throws in the entire last 10 years, if not the entire
Fourth down
league.
play.
You think
Absurd.
about it looked really cool and it was off balance and somewhat across his body, righty throwing to the left of the field even though he was already on the left of the field. That's still an unbelievable throw to make.
With the season on the line too.
Exactly. You take the throw at face value, it's amazing, but then you put in the circumstances of, that one of those final drives and just being able to make that throw. Wasn't that fourth down?
It was 4th and
Third,
8, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's circumstantial football right there, and that is an unbelievable throw. That's nuts. That just shows he's that guy for a reason for the Bears, and freaking unbelievable from
gonna
Caleb
win a lot
Williams
of
that throw.
games.
They
Caleb
Bears
Williams and
fans
Ben
should be looking up for the future, 100%.
Yeah, one other thing to add to that, you were just saying how it was an off-balance throw. He literally tripped and fell and was throwing it as he fell down. Yeah, it looked a little Mahomey. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He threw it off at 1 foot because his right foot was off of the ground, and then he just chucked it up. 4th and 8, game on the line. I thought that was game. Honestly, I did. And then he makes that unbelievable play, and they come back and win the game. I mean, it's pretty nuts. But obviously, they got to fix that defense before they go any farther.
Also a stud.
Dog. Next game.
Yep,
Bills,
and Jaguars.
Jags.
I was
Duval, baby.
Yeah.
How's Duval looking now?
loudest chant in the NFL. Apparently, they had that sign outside of their locker room that said "Duval's the loudest chant ever," but didn't matter for Superman himself. So
Yeah, loudest chant in the league, my ass. I've heard Packers fans chant or say Coon's name when they had that fullback back in the 2010s. I've heard that louder than Duval. Although Duval did provide a great playoff atmosphere, it looked like. Bills silenced it. It was a really close game.
Very good game. All the games were really good except, I'm
Except
not going to talk about my game.
yeah, but
We're going to skip over that.
Bills did what the Bills did what they had to do to get the job done under all the circumstances. Gabe Davis tore his ACL. That was an insane low hit. He went straight for the knee, and low key, like, people say, like, oh, safeties don't come in flying like they used to. Well, they didn't used to really do that. They used to just light you up, in the shoulder level. And obviously, I thought that was a dirty hit, no matter how much I hate the Bills. But I also thought that ball maybe shouldn't have been thrown. You hear about Tom Brady preaching he'll never throw it on Ray Lewis's side to avoid those defenseless receiver hits. But as for Gabe Davis, there's absolutely nothing you can do about that, and that sucks for you, especially against your former team. I know he was there for a year or so. But, that's brutal. And then, obviously, after the game, come to find out that Shavers had torn his ACL trying to block a punt just before halftime and ended up finishing the game playing like 20-something of 30-something snaps. That's another key piece. Shavers had a good year. That's another key piece gone. And now you got to rely on the looks of Brandon Cooks, Keon Coleman, and Shakir. And obviously your two tight ends. And I don't think the game plan changes there for them going into this week. It's going to be Cook. Allen's going to have to do a lot on his feet, but he's also the thing about the Bills is people say Josh Allen has no help, and on paper maybe he doesn't. But you watch that game, those receivers, I don't know if it's this offensive scheme. I don't know if it's the defensive scheme playing conservative. Those receivers were open, man. All they're really doing is those little short 5 to 10 yard plays, some 15 to 20 yard plays, but they're all open. Those little in routes, out routes, comeback routes, they're all there for Allen to make those easy throws. And if they can do that consistently and their defense locks it down, Bills got a shot at winning the Super Bowl. And we were talking about betting earlier. You were talking about, whatever mishaps you had.
Yep.
I was thinking earlier in the year, I hate the Bills. I don't want to see them win a Super Bowl. But if I bet money on them to win the Super Bowl every year, it's a win-win. Like if the Bills win, like right now I have money on the Bills to win the Super Bowl. If they win the Super Bowl, I'll hate it, but I'll be richer. Whereas if they lose, I'll lose however much money I put in, but at the same time, they lost, so I'll be happy. It's a win-win.
What's the payout on that?
My payout this year, since I did it late and I only put like $10 on it, is like $150. However, it's $150. Like if the Bills win the Super Bowl, I won't be too happy. But seeing my FanDuel account after that will make me a more happy man and more content with that result.
Damn straight.
Like if I have to pay $20 at the beginning of every year to bet on the Bills to win the Super Bowl and and if they lose everyone, just lose $20 at the beginning of it, whatever. That's cheaper than most fantasy leagues.
So Bills, Jags, they kind of all wrapped it up for me, but I do think Trevor Lawrence looked pretty good. I think Trevor Lawrence, he's finally doing the thing he did at Clemson.
tried to force the ball a few times.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence tried to force the ball. I do think he's their guy. I think if there is going to be someone he's that guy to take him there. He's a very good player. Travis Etienne got active a little bit. Parker Washington.
Parker Washington had a crazy game. After it looked like he got knocked out of the game.
At this point, he's a sung hero, but it seems like he was an unsung hero throughout the whole year. And Parker Washington, a very good player. The Jags got a lot of, Liam Cohen first year, 13-4, 14-3, and win the division. They're going to be good. Bills, a couple blows at wide receiver.
Yeah.
It's really going to come down to what it has all year.
Guess what? Tyrell Shavers played more snaps in the second half than Keon did the whole game, I'll get into Keon later.
It's really going to come down to what it has all year.
Stay tuned for that.
I still think Kyle Palmieri's play on the torn ACL was better.
all year for the Bills, it's
Yeah.
been Cooks and Allen, and it's gonna stay that way. So you just gotta see what they can do in the pass game.
First touchdown hit.
It did not. Knox did not score.
We'll have another
But
one for
a
you.
tight end did score for the Bills. Dalton Kincaid scored.
Fuck, dude, I needed that for my parlay
But
too.
one thing that I was thinking at the end of the game, dude, I was sweating because once again the Bills scored too quick. The other team has a chance to go in. 13 seconds is still pretty fresh in my mind. Sorry to bring it up, but they scored way too quick. But you know what? It worked out because God forbid a white boy get a little motion. Cole Bishop showed up, so we good.
It seemed so quick for me.
One thing to add to the game, like specifically Parker Washington. Okay, I'm gonna go back to what I was just talking about, betting. Okay, we all love betting. Okay, it's a fun thing to do. All right, yeah, bet responsibly. All right,
Please be responsible. Don't lose thousands of dollars.
betting is a lot of fun. I usually bet around the NFL time. Other than that, I really don't bet that much. That might change. We'll see. But love betting, hate betting. It's a love-hate relationship. Okay, and so I have Parker Washington in my parlay. Okay, his line is set at 53.5 yards. Okay, 53.5. All right, I'm like, this is probably a good thing to take.
Yeah.
Right, because I looked at his stats. The last 4 out of 5 games were at least over 52 or 53.5. All right, and so I put it in my parlay. I'm looking at other things to add to it. All right, and so I add some stuff to it, whatever. I send it into me and Caleb's group chat that we have with some of our friends that we talk about like parlays and stuff before the game. And this one guy says, I like everything you have on there but Parker Washington yards. Right? And he's known to be a pretty good bettor, this kid that we know or whatever. And so what do? I remove it from the list, my betting slip. I think I kept most of the same stuff. And guess what happens, guys? Guess what happens? He has over 100 yards. And I just knew it was going to happen. But you know what, Jim? When you remove it, it happens. When you keep it, it loses. So that's all I got to say. Next game.
Next game
Eagles.
was the Eagles game.
We'll let this guy start because he's the Eagles fan.
All right, so Niners 23, Eagles 19. Brutal way to end the season, but it didn't hurt as bad because it was same shit all year, just another day. The office for the Eagles. I do kind of want to rip into Jake Elliott. You miss an extra point to make it 7-7. You missed that early extra point. You're just playing from behind now that early. And especially when the Niners return the favor and miss one at the end, you're going down the field trying to only tie the game. It's a whole different strategy. I mean, they were in field goal range. They were at the 20-yard line when they turn it over on downs. So they could have easily took 3 there. I mean, if he makes it, it's no guarantee. But they could have easily sent it to overtime. I think Jalen Hurts did a lot. He did everything he could with what he's given, which is A.J. Brown 3 dropped passes. One of which over the top, down the middle.
Wide.
Another one on the last drive.
Wide.
Caught it was a slant straight through the hands.
Wide.
And then another down the sideline hit his hands, dropped.
Wide.
And, Kevin Patullo has been fired.
You go.
He's gone, baby.
Thank
He's gone.
God, he's been fired. So now the Eagles can actually get back to winning football games. It was his first year. I think, and for the whole, so what the Eagles are doing is they're having Howie Roseman lead the interview process now, which is good because they gave Nick Sirianni the opportunity to hire the previous OC, Kevin Patullo, who happened to be the quarterback's coach and his best friend. So he's going to hire his best friend, even though he sucked. I mean, Jalen Hurts said it before the season. He's never been in that position. But, hopefully they bring in someone who knows how to throw the ball over the middle of the field and not run hitches. I would be fine if the Eagles, a couple of the fan accounts I follow have speculated it, maybe a little Nick Foles reunion as OC. I'd be fine if they interviewed Doug Peterson as OC.
That'd be nice.
and just bring in some familiar faces that know how to win, and hopefully the Eagles' offense will be up and moving again. Niners. The Niners did play a very good game. I can't lie. Brock Purdy played very good.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
speaking of which, Quinyon Mitchell, dog.
yeah, you guys got some good corners.
Quinyon Mitchell, first drive, led up 60 yards and a touchdown. He hasn't led up over 50 the whole year, and that was his first touchdown he's led up all year in over 550
And
snaps in
JPJ doesn't
coverage.
get All-Pro? That's crazy. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I mean, come on.
But
I mean, you guys
Quinyon Mitchell
guys
definitely deserved
can't
All-Pro.
not agree with me with that though. Like JPJ's shut down people, and
I
I'm
think
just saying. I don't
Quinyon
know.
Mitchell definitely deserved
What do
All-Pro.
I know though, Jim?
2 picks, great year from the defense. The offense was clearly the issue all year, but it didn't hurt that bad. It was kind of just you grow numb to it after whatever the Cowboys week. That was when the season was over. But always next year, hopefully get a good OC and a good draft.
Yeah, I mean, us three last episode picked the Eagles. I really thought they were going to win. I thought it'd be, decently close. I didn't think it'd be a blowout. But Niners pulled through, despite all the injuries that they've, sustained the whole year.
Kittle down
And
to
I saw
bottle of
something on
tequila.
Instagram about them practicing near like a chemical plant or something, and then like
Chernobyl
comparing
gate.
that to like all the injuries they've had
9
or
Mile
something.
Island
Like their
gate.
practice field is next to like a chemical
Yeah, they have
plant or something.
more like ACL tears than any other team in the league, like combined or something.
That's
yeah,
crazy to me. It's either their athletic trainer sucks or they're, they need
yeah.
they need to sign someone new for athletic
Or
training,
just move your
or
practice
just
field.
move the
See
fucking
if it
practice
changes
field.
anything.
Yeah, try to reverse psychology.
Yeah,
or something.
shout out George Kittle downing a whole bottle of tequila in the second half after
Hell yeah, dude.
tearing his Achilles.
Just like he
Love
did
you, Kittle.
with the
Oh, yeah,
Bills
like
game
I-
a couple years
Oh yeah, like I'll do it with the Bills if they lose again. So
But I'd like to see the Niners win. I don't think it's going to happen, but it could.
I think it could.
I mean, they got
Sam
the best
Darnold in the playoffs,
offensive
bro.
best. I mean,
don't know.
offensive mind in the league, in my opinion, besides Sean McVay. I mean, Kyle Shanahan has just proven he can do it, and also Salah's done a hell of a job with that banged up defense.
Eric
So,
Kendricks had a really good
anything
game as
else
well.
to add?
Yeah, the Niners are a winning football team. We saw it this weekend. I mean, we've seen it all year. All these
Mac
injuries. A lot of
Jones.
them happened in the first half of the season, and obviously Purdy went down, and Mac Jones took over, and they were still winning. Say whatever you want about the system, but these guys, as a team, as an organization, they play winning football.
Know how to plug and play too when
Exactly,
injuries come up.
exactly. And now whether that's putting up 16 and edging out a 16-10 win, or if that's putting up 30 and winning 30-15, like they can do it all. And I think the Niners are, if not the top in the NFC, just not even based on skill or do I think they're going to win it all. I think they got a great chance to, just because of the culture that they built all around winning football. And they play their opponent. They evaluate their opponent and they see what they have to do to win, and they freaking execute. Defending champs last week walked into Philly, a West Coast team,
Go Birds.
flying all the way to East Coast, going on the time delay, and coming in and just winning football all around.
Philly lost that game more than the Niners won that game.
That's
just wanna
true.
say that.
But the Niners they've proved that through all these injuries, any other team, if they lose that many key pieces, I don't think they
That is true. That is
keep
true.
winning, because the Niners were winning, and then they had all those injuries over a few weeks. I feel like a lot of teams would start losing and be like, well, if we had these guys, it'd be different. Well, the Niners don't have those guys. They have McCaffrey and now Brock Purdy back, and they won their first playoff game, and now it's on to Chicago for them. So we'll see.
One
But
last
the
thing.
Shout out Landshark, Seattle.
Oh shit, yeah, Seattle.
Another shout out DeMarcus Robinson, who played one of the better games of his career against that Philly defense. No, that whole game he had over 100 yards. It was a very good day, very productive day for DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah.
Shout out
that-
you. I hate the Niners, but
Shout out
Good
Land
job, I
Shark.
guess.
First time going to try it here in a second.
It is
Very good. It's
We
very
are
good.
we are sipping. We're all kind of experimenting with different beers right now. Me and Caleb have been drinking the Genesee Citrus Pilsner. Super good. Shout out.
That's
shout out to
actually pretty
Genesee
good.
specialty. And then Land Shark.
Yeah.
All right, first time trying that.
That's good.
Jake's
Trust.
sipping some Coors Light over there. And
Mike.
you got Blue Moon, right? You got some Blue Moon.
Oh, yeah.
So we're all covering our bases here. All different types of beers. And that brings us into our next
We don't have to
game.
spend too much time on this.
Chargers and
We were all right.
Gimme,
We were
gimme,
all
gimme
right
out.
about it. So
Patriots won. I mean,
Belt to
that's all we
ass,
really need to
straight
talk
belt.
about. That's what happened.
Drake May,
that
Drake
game was
May.
pretty one of the most boring games, bro.
what I say, the Chargers are not putting up more than 10. I did get it wrong. The Pats did not win by 20, but I feel like it's a little harder to predict the Chargers not putting up 10 points. I gave them a little leeway. I said the Chargers are not putting up 10 or 13. Maybe they'll put up, a little bit of benefit of the doubt if they put up 10 or, somehow 12. That's a Chargers thing to do. They put up 3, right? It was 3 points. Dude, like Flight React said, the Chargers flew across the world to kick a field goal.
yeah, it is true.
To kick a field goal. And, that was the night game on Sunday, and I watched the first half because I work at early in the morning. But anyway, man, we saw it coming. From the Chargers, we saw it coming. I mean, it is what it is. The Pats got an easy one. A lot of people will say that adds to their easy schedule. At the same time, Chargers defense looked fairly good for most of that game. Exactly. They got a few stops, and they looked good.
16 points.
They looked good. I was going to say 16 points.
One touchdown
That's-
to the 2 seed.
Yeah. As a 2 seed, the Bears obviously put up a lot. That's kind of that reflection that you want from the Patriots, but the Patriots, they're playing Houston's defense this week, so that'll be a test. Chargers defense is good, but Houston is miles above them. So we'll see, but I just want to say I was right about the Chargers.
I do have to
Fuck
say, anyone back there, if you're still
Shout out
defending
Land
Justin
Shark again.
Herbert, stop. Stop. What has he done? What has he done in his playoff career? Tell me. He's kicked a field goal.
he blew a lead to
He blew
Trevor
a
Lawrence.
27-0 lead to the Jacksonville
That was bad.
Jaguars. And then last year in the playoffs against the Texans, 4 picks. What has he done? Can we stop defending this man?
sucks.
Let's stop pretending this
Oh,
man
it's
is
the
some-
offensive line. It's the offensive line. No.
Dr.
No.
If.
No. Yeah. What if? Mr. What if?
Mr. What If. We're not defending you anymore.
Makai Beckham.
We are not defending you anymore. You haven't done anything. Caleb Williams and Drake May have more career playoff wins than Justin Herbert does, and they only have 1. I think Herbert,
Wide.
given the talent he's supposed to be, he should have at least a playoff win. I mean,
Wide.
you were given a 27-0 lead and you didn't win.
Yeah, he's a
Chargers,
bum. Fuck him. Get
Justin
some better
Herbert.
weapons then. Like, what's
know
your
who's better?
excuse? What's your excuse? Yeah,
Hurts
Lad
is
McConkey
better.
didn't do shit this year. Like,
Jalen
he
Hurts
sucks.
is better than Justin Herbert.
I just wanted to say that Juwan Jennings has more playoff touchdown passes than Justin Herbert. So
Wade.
he only. By the way, Juwan Jennings is wide receiver, and he only has
I
2
saw
touchdown
that.
passes.
I saw that
so
stat, bro. I saw.
It's
one was in
Herbert.
the
It's
Super Bowl and
Herbert.
one was last week. That's pretty funny, honestly. He's not. He can be as good as he
can be
wants
really
in the
good,
regular
but-
season, and then he just shits the bed and gets fucking like twinkle toe fucking dancing around trying to like make something happen. Then he just gets sacked. Like
It's not even that with the O-line. He was genuinely just missing passes, and he
Yeah.
just wasn't playing good. Like, yeah, his O-line is not good, and he's taking sacks that, he
His
can't
own
really-
line it was bad.
Like, sacks he can't really do anything about. He's also just making bad decisions and throwing bad balls. You can't defend that. At the end of the day, it comes down to your quarterback.
I will
and you
say
know
the
that.
only little bit of defense I have for Herbert, he was my backup quarterback in a fantasy league behind Mahomes, and he was a valuable backup. He wasn't bad. He was always there to give me anywhere from 18 to whatever his highest game was. Obviously whenever I started him, but
And when Mahomes got hurt.
exactly when Mahomes got hurt, Herbert was my guy. Actually, low key, Brady Cook was also my guy for a week. We saw how that played out, but you know, yeah, the Chargers got a lot of retooling to do. I mean, Keenan Allen, he's old. Like he can be consistent, but he's not that guy that you want to rely on. Ladd, he's young. I'm not sold on Ladd by any means, but I haven't seen too much of his game. And Ladd McConkey, he's got time to prove himself there. But I do think they need to dip a lot into the offensive line this offseason. But also, I feel like they need to make a blockbuster trade for a wide receiver of value, a good one too. Like similar to how the Rams went and got Devontae, I think the Chargers need to go out and get someone like Devontae in that sort of esque trade, for them to get back to the playoffs next year.
All right. Last game of Wild Card Weekend. Steelers Texans. Go ahead, bud. We'll let you go first.
Pretty sad, being a Steelers fan. Actually seeing, I got to see a Super Bowl. That was pretty cool. I was only 7, but I was a Steelers fan. I got to watch it. Watching the San Antonio Holmes touchdown was one of my favorite moments of my life, probably. And just got to make the playoffs. I'm just gonna be grateful, honestly. Like, got to make the playoffs. Played a great game on Sunday Night Football to win the division, AFC North champs. And then we just absolutely stunk the bed. I thought we had a chance. I knew the defense was.
First drive looked pretty good. Yeah, we all picked the Steelers. The first drive looked good. They were moving. Watched it on all 22 yesterday, actually.
Yeah, obviously I knew the defense was good coming in. We covered that last episode. Knew that already. We started moving the ball a little bit in the first half or so, first quarter, and it looked pretty good. I thought we were going to score. They ended up getting a stop. That's fine. We ended up getting 3 points. I'm like, all right, I'll just take the 3 points. That's fine.
For us, C.J. Stroud was the biggest it factor. The biggest question mark in that game was the Texans' offense, and he had how many fumbles?
Like 3 fumbles.
3 or 4 fumbles. He had a pick too. CJ needs to limit the turnovers. Nico's out. Yep.
But I'm gonna keep going if that's cool. And so moving the ball, whatever, they get a stop. We ended up getting 3 points. Then I think they get a deep ball to Christian Kirk, and and
shout out Stephen A.
I feel bad for Stephen A in that scenario, but I was literally watching that live.
I was watching it live.
That was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Charlie Cook put up 144 yards and 6 catches. Oh, no. My apologies.
That's my pick. That's my pick right there.
But guys, I'm losing my train of thought. And so we kicked a field goal. Whatever, they end up scoring. It's 7-6 for most of the game. Don't even fucking say it. 6-7.
You said it, not us.
And it's a close game. We turned the ball over so many times. We had so many opportunities. I'm not going to make excuses at all for the offense. We had so many opportunities to move the ball. We could have capitalized on those opportunities. We turned the ball over 3 times. I think 2 fumbles and a pick.
Pick 6. Yeah.
That was
and
desperation times.
And we turned the ball over. We had opportunities, and it just when it came down to it, it just wasn't good enough. And to add to that, Mike Tomlin stepped down, and it's a little bit bittersweet. I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. He's been a great coach. He's one of the best coaches in the NFL. Going to be in the Hall of Fame. You know, he's never had a losing season. I mean, as much as people hate on the fact,
9-8.
hate
9
on
and
that
8.
fact. I mean,
10
9 and
and
8,
7.
whatever.
9 and 8.
He-
10 and
he's
7.
19 straight seasons. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, whatever. That was a long time ago. I get it. You guys can crucify me
We
for
haven't
that.
even been there, so I
Okay.
got nothing to say.
So
How about them Jets, baby?
It's at the end of the day, it was time for him to go. As sad as it is. Hopefully, we get Brian Flores or Chris Shula. That's what I'm
Flores
hoping
would be
for.
nice. Now, since Tomlin's technically stepped down, wouldn't other teams, if he were to explore coaching again, wouldn't they have to like trade for him?
They would have so.
They'd have to give
They
up
would
something.
His contract would then become available again, so his contract would like reignite, I guess, in some
Yeah.
simple terms, I guess. I don't know. Reignite, basically. So that contract would be open. A team would have to trade for him for whatever team that may be, and then we would get the proper compensation, hopefully a first and second round pick. That'd be
Future
great.
considerations.
What do you mean? That's what Sean Payton got. He's the same caliber head coach. First and
Tomlin's,
second
if
round
not better than Peyton, low key. Tomlin.
pick. First and second round
definitely
pick, I
did
think
not
is good. I'll take a second round too. It's whatever. But yeah, I'm done with my rant. On to the off season, and hopefully we can find out our quarterback situation.
You know, for this game, I really think the highlight of the day for the Steelers was Aaron Rodgers and Rodgers Realm pregame.
Yeah.
That really was the highlight of the game for them. I do like Aaron Rodgers. I really hope this wasn't the end, but it's hard to see
It's
a
the
world
end.
where it's not. It's hard to see a world where it's
Yeah,
not
it's
the
the
end for
end.
him. C.J. Stroud fraud. He looked terrible. He gets carried by this defense.
That's all you need.
But Texans are scary just because of their defense. They can win with Davis Mills. Ask this guy. He's seen it. But yeah, that defense really just carries them. C.J. Stroud, terrible.
Yep, we got an Eagles
He's
fan.
not wrong.
Wrapping up Wild Card Weekend, we got an Eagles fan, Steelers fan. You know, they both lost, and just
One to go.
just to put it there, you know, they're right now they're in the same exact boat as the Jets, but they've got a hell of a worse pick. So, you know, I take that as a Jets win. I take that as a Jets win, having a better pick and being in the same boat. No
Hell of
Super
a better
Bowl.
team, though.
No Super Bowl. No Super Bowl. No Super Bowl this year. Roll Bears.
Roll Bears.
Ah, Bears.
Oh, my God.
Divisional round.
All right, let's get into it, Jim.
Let's get into this stuff.
Divisional round. First game is Bills at Broncos.
You want to go first?
3-point spread or something.
Nah, I can go last because I'll
1.5.
I'll go
point spread.
last because I have something to rant about. So
I'll kick us off, I guess.
Niners, Seahawks, I think is
Bills, Bills, Broncos, 6 seed versus the 2 seed in Mile High. I think it's going to be a very close game. I don't think the Bills have a single game in this postseason where it's not going to be close. That offense can't, or not that offense, but that team just can't. They're not going to blow out a playoff team. I'll put it as simple as that. They're on par with them, but they're not going to blow anybody out. With that being said, though, I do think that the Broncos will outlast them. This Broncos defense I love. I hate for the Bills that they lost 2 of their better receivers in Shavers and Davis. I think that really just puts who's going to be the wide receiver 1. Who's going to be the wide receiver? Well, just I don't. Who's going to be? Keon Coleman's going to be the wide receiver 1. Pat Surtain the second will have him in an absolute bottle. The whole. Okay, either way, Pat Surtain's going to have him in a bottle. It's going to come down to whoever Riley Moss is guarding. The linebackers are good. The D-line's good. They're going to get to Allen. They're going to make Allen play superhero, which he's used to. But Allen will probably take a 30-yard sack or 2. We've seen it a couple times. Eagles game.
Eagles on the couch.
That's fine. Hey, we beat you.
So did Atlanta, and they're also on the couch.
So is Miami, and they're also on the couch. And so did Davis Mills, but he's still
But
playing.
one thing to add to your point, Jake, is the Bills have one of the best offensive lines too. So you got to keep that in mind. They've been
Whatever you
playing
say.
well. They're going to use they have a good offensive line as much as you want to crucify them. Okay, they do have a good offensive line.
Josh Allen could hang in.
We're going to see what happens, but they're really going to be I mean, I think it's going to help them being in a little bit bigger personnel, using those tight ends, doing motions. You know,
It's
jet
just-
sweeps, like something to just throw the defense off of like misdirection plays.
It's
Like
it's
finding,
hard.
finding gaps in the defense.
It's hard to pick against this Broncos team. This Broncos team has won some very impressive games this year. I mean, they were down. What were they? They were down 14-0 in the fourth quarter against the Eagles earlier this year. They beat them. They were down like 20-something to the Giants. They were down. They were still down 20 in the fourth quarter and won. That doesn't happen. They're a very resilient team with a good coach, good young quarterback, good young core. The defense is solid. It's gonna.
Josh Allen does that too.
Okay. Anyways, the Bills, not even they're gonna have to play a perfect game.
Yeah,
if
the
they wanna
Broncos
win this
hung in
game.
there with the Jets this year, beating them 13-11.
The Broncos are, or not, the Bills are gonna have to play a perfect game if they want to win this game. But I will say, I'll pick the Broncos by 6.
Zach, did you go and put a prediction or anything yet?
All right, I'll go next. This is going to be a good game. Broncos are favored 1.5 points, -1.5 point favorites in the Mile High City. This is going to be, I think it's going to be a closer game. I know the Broncos, like you said, have a good defense, but the Bills have Josh Allen. And this is a tough game. I mean,
Worse than me last week.
this is really a tough game. I'm gonna pick the Bills. I think it's gonna be a very close game. I think it's gonna come down kind of like the Jags and Bills game, like whoever gets the ball last kind of scenario. I think the Bills need to get stops when they really need them, like when they did with the Jags. They got stops when they really needed stops. Turnovers. They got to turn the ball over against Bo Nix. I know Bo Nix is inconsistent. That's, one thing I want to highlight as well is Bo Nix being really inconsistent. That offense doesn't really have any weapons. I mean, if you really think about it. And so I think that's where the Bills can succeed is playing good defense, winning the trench battle, turning the ball over and then capitalizing on those turnovers. I'm gonna take the Bills in this one. I'm really rooting for them. I'm going to take the Bills.
All right.
I'm going to take them
By 3.
by 3.
Yeah. This is a game
By 3
where
points.
I can see this final score actually being 17-14. Like, I could see this game being in the teens. The Broncos defense, I mean, there's not much else to say about them. They've been great all year, so we'll see if they can keep that up, similar to kind of what Houston did. A lot of people were counting him out, and with the Aaron Rodgers, Gainwell, and all that, Houston got it done despite C.J. Stroud not being great. You'd like to think the Broncos can do the same with just how good their defense is. If Nix can't do everything, the Broncos, you'd think that they should be able to still win that game with how good their defense is. I mean, we saw it with the 2022 or 2023 Jets. 2023 Jets, when Aaron Rodgers went down, you had Zach Wilson at the helm, and they were winning games that they had no business winning because their defense kept the offense in the game. Bo Nix, I haven't seen much of him. See, if he was actually listening to what I'm saying, he'd exactly. Okay.
That's why I just heard 2020.
So this is what I'm saying: is Bo Nix has a great defense. Zach Wilson, after Aaron Rodgers went down, had a great defense. They kept Zach Wilson in games he had no business winning or even being close. You remember that game against the Chiefs, primetime? They probably should have won, but, that was extraneous stuff. But at the same time, I haven't seen too much from Nix. But if that Broncos defense can do kind of what that defense did for Wilson, they should have a shot. They should, but that's the thing is they should. Josh Allen's a winner. The Bills are winners no matter what adversity that they have done. However, I'm going to pick the Broncos by 3 points, just like kind of Zach said, but I don't think this is going to be in the 30s or 20s. I really think this is going to be a classic NFC West shitter 4:05 p.m. start where they finish the games like 10-7 or something. But I think it's going to be like 16-13 or 17-14, something like that. But I do think it'll come down to which defense gets the most stops, who ends the game with the ball. The Jaguars were close, man, last week. All they needed to do was afford maybe 1 or 2 more stops on defense, but, things happen. Exactly. They low-key got worked at the end of the game, They got worked. And even though the Bills scored early, they got worked. And, a lot of Bills fans will be like, Josh Allen pulled off the best, tush push in the league, in the history of the league. However, it was totally the offensive line pushing the runner, advancing the runner. Some people think that shouldn't count. I still think it counts, but at the same time, kudos to that offensive line for digging in and doing that. All Josh Allen had to do was not trip over his own feet, like Daniel Jones has in the past. But yeah, I got Broncos by 3, but this game is just like the Jags one that I said the Bills, but I also said this could go either way. I'm thinking it's the same thing. I don't think there's going to be too many more blowouts in the rest of the playoffs. And here's a little bet for you, like we had last time with Dawson Knox first TD. That didn't hit, that's whatever. Mine will hit. The coin flip, bet on it to be tails. Thank you.
One last thing before we get it to Caleb for his Bills. I do think it's going to come down to a matter of who wins the explosive play battle. You know how they talk about the explosive play battle sometimes. I really think this game's just going to be a hard-fought game. Both sides of the ball, like, yards aren't going to come easy. A 5-yard run will be like a success. A first down will be celebrated. But I think the team that gets, like, those 30-yard jump plays, a run that goes for like 40, like even a 20-yard touchdown, whoever gets the more of those plays that will, jump them down the field and just keep them ahead of the stick. Whatever team stays ahead of the sticks obviously will win, but whoever just gets those jump plays, I think if you win that explosive play battle, they talked about last week in the Eagles game, it didn't really matter. But if you stay ahead of that and you win that, I think it will come down to that because explosive plays will not come easy between these two teams.
I was going to say, none of these two teams speak to me as explosive.
Yeah, no. I said last week, whoever wins the Bills and Jaguars game is my pick to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. That's not going to change. I do think, like these guys have said, it's going to be a hard-fought game. It's not going to be easy. You're playing one of the best defenses in the league, but so was the Jaguars. The Jaguars had the best run defense in the entire league. Obviously, James Cook didn't have a game. He didn't really do anything. He was averaging, I think, 3 yards a carry at the end of the game. But I feel like this week we might be able to get the run game going a little bit better than we did last week. Josh Allen won't have to be Superman as much as he did last week. However, do have a lot of injuries at the wide receiver position. Josh Allen will probably have to be Superman.
He has been all year.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. But do have some pieces coming back on defense. Most importantly, Ed Oliver's coming back, which I think I think he has a real opportunity to be a game wrecker. He's only played a couple games this year, but every game he's played in, he did outstanding. The first game of the year against the Ravens, I think he had 4 tackles for loss, a couple sacks, a forced fumble, and then obviously got hurt, comes back, has another great game, gets hurt, coming back for the playoffs. Seems like he's fully healthy and ready to go, so I think he could have a big game. Unfortunately, did lose Jordan Poyer, so they're probably going to be starting DeMar Hamlin or Jordan Hancock, so it's going to be tough. I wonder what's that close to.
But I was gonna say, as the late and great Herb Brooks said, your pec is a hell of a long way from the heart, you candy ass. I know it's not, but for DeMar Hamlin, I guess nothing's far away from his heart.
Jesus Christ. Well said. I am gonna take the Bills. Before I move on, I'd like to talk directly to Keon Coleman at the moment. I'm not gonna
Coleman, if you ever see this is for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rip into you like Cam Newton has been. Cam Newton saying, "Oh, he's Cookie Monster. He doesn't care about football." All that shit. Which some of it is true. Showing up late to meetings and practices, and that shit can't happen. So, this is your fucking chance to go out and show who you are. This is really your last chance with the Bills.
Statement game.
So, we got 2 guys who tore their ACLs. They were getting more playing time than you. Even Shavers on a torn ACL got more playing time than you.
Yeah.
So, this is your chance. Your wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 this week. You got to step it up. This is your last chance in Buffalo. Might be your last chance really in the league if you don't show up. Because Yeah, the Jets would probably take him, or the Chiefs would take him, and
Raiders
he'd be
wide
the
receiver,
best
too.
receiver of all time, because that's just what
Put him
happens.
that
But
Kelly Green, he's gonna go off.
anyways, this is your last chance. You got to figure it out. You're probably going to be matched up against Riley Moss a lot. You know, draw a couple DPI penalties. I think he was the most penalized corner in the league this year. So Riley Moss.
Oh, dude, that guy sucks. Riley
So
Moss, he had a penalty a game. Like actually,
yeah,
he had at
he might
least
have had
one-
more than that.
He,
Honestly,
he at least had a holding or a pass interference every single game for the entire year.
so
Run some fades or something.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot more of it
throw the
is-
ball to him, let him make a play. You know, he's gonna have to make some. He's gonna have to make some plays. You know, if they want to win this game, because they're just so hurt on the offensive side of the ball. You know, they obviously have their tight ends, but receiver, they're screaming right now for some help. So they you know, they
not
really need him to step up.
Drewski at wide receiver.
Yeah, he basically is Drewski. Yeah. Jared Verse has a faster 40-yard dash than Keon Coleman, and he's a defensive end, so that's another thing. But this is it. Like, you know, they gotta give him some better route combinations. I think. I feel like that's a part of it. Is that Joe Brady hasn't really let him, you know, thrive or be in a position where he can succeed. It's a lot of like slant routes and dumb play calls, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Like-
also, you got to capitalize on a year where I know it's been said before. You got to capitalize on a year where Mahomes is not in the playoffs. You're not.
No Burrow, no
Burrow's
Lamar.
not very good. Burrow
We'll
is
say
extremely
Burrow and
overrated.
Mahomes,
But, like,
'cause he hasn't really beaten Lamar in the playoffs.
I'm gonna
Burrow is
yeah.
overrated. Though. But like, you do gotta. I mean, you're not gonna get many years without Mahomes
Right.
in the playoffs. I mean, he's.
I will say
obviously the
this:
greatest,
this is the
but
Bills. Like, this is the worst team that Josh has had,
It's the worst team,
and
but the
it's
best chance.
the best. Right, it's the
Yeah.
best chance for them to win.
Gotta love football.
And Keon's basically a first-round pick. They took him pick 33 or whatever they had. Like, you got to figure it out at one point or another. You had a couple big games this year, which the Ravens game, I think, it's the best game of his career. Touchdown, like 100 some yards, 10
Week 1.
receptions. Yeah, that was week 1. Get benched a few times this year. This is it.
So-
This is your chance to get back on the field. You're gonna play. You're gonna play more than like 50% of the snaps for the first time all year, pretty much. So this is it. You gotta figure out.
So what do you have Bills by?
I'm a huge Keon fan too. I got 3 Keon jerseys.
Oh no!
I have a Bills jersey. I have a Michigan State football jersey and his Michigan State basketball jersey. So I might be the last Bills
I got a
fan.
Fields Jets jersey.
So what you have Bills by how many?
I'm gonna take the Bills by 4.
You have them by 3.
He has
By
the
3 too.
You
Yeah.
guys both have them by 3.
He got Bills by 3. I got Broncos by 3.
He has
So
Broncos
Bills
by
by
3.
3, Broncos by 3, Bills by 4, Broncos
Mhm.
by 6.
okay.
Okay, and that's where we end off.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Next slate, Seattle.
Seattle.
That's
and
tough.
Niners. Want me to kick this,
You
kick
could,
this one off?
yeah, you could start.
All right, so we got Seattle and the 49ers. Seattle is the favorites. -7 is the spread. It's in the 12th man. It's in Seattle. I don't know. This game, I mean, people think it might be a blowout. I think it might be closer than it's going to be. I just, the Niners just, the defense, Robert Sala's kind of, you know, pulling it out of his ass basically because he's, you know, they
Yeah.
just signed like someone 2 weeks ago as their linebacker, like, and they're starting. It's like 5th and 6th string linebackers, and they're, you know, they're playing at a high enough level to win games. I'm going to take the Niners with a crazy upset. I have a feeling.
Divisional game too.
It's third divisional game. I have a weird feeling about it. I think Brock Purdy's going to have a good game. I think the defense is going to force Sam Darnold into making mistakes. And if you know anything about Sam Darnold, if he makes a lot of mistakes, he's probably going to lose the game. And he's good at making mistakes if
very
he's
good
under
at that.
pressure. I'm just saying that. So
Yeah.
I'm going to take the 49ers with the upset. They're going to win by 1.
So what's the spread of the game?
Minus-
-7 in favor of Seattle. Here's what I think. Last time they played, was it week 17? It was 13-3 Seattle.
Classic
Niners didn't even
NFC
score a
West game.
touchdown. That Seattle defense is very good. I just, you know, Darnold in the playoffs. It happened last year, 14-3 with the Vikings. Sorry, against the Rams, and he just got pressured against a good defense. He couldn't really do anything. I don't think he's gonna have he's not going to have the same amount of pressure he saw last year. But you could take Darnold out of New York. Can't take New York out of Darnold. I really don't. I just can't see Darnold winning a big time game here. I really can't see it. But which is fine because I think it might just come down to simply
mistakes.
Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. I think that run game against, like you said, the 5th and 6th string linebackers, I think if they keep it within the hashes and within the numbers that this run offense and they will establish the run to set up the pass, when this year they've really been establishing the pass to set up the run. I think they'll go a little reverse. It'll be a very run heavy game for the Seahawks with occasional they'll get that deep shot to JSN. They're going to have it. And the Niners failed to score last time they played them, and I don't know. I don't see their offense really getting going. I don't see their defense stopping Seattle. I think Seattle will win this game by probably about 7, like what the spread says. Vegas knows. They know.
I actually really like that take. Before the injury reports came out, this game was a little bit more of a toss-up for me, but they announced that Fred Warner will not be playing this week. If they make it to next week, he'll play, but I really think that's a big game changer defensively. Fred Warner's obviously leader of that team. He flies all over the field, but I don't know. Kind of like you said, I think Seattle just overpowers them on both sides of the ball. Their defense has been outstanding this year. The front seven, the secondary, it's all kind of come together at the right time for Mike McDonald. And kind of like you said, I think get the run going. It'll open up some plays down the field, whether it's A.J. Barner, Rashid Shaheed maybe. You hit on a deep ball. JSN, obviously one of the best receivers in the league. You can get Cooper Kupp sucks. He's washed, unfortunately. But JSN, I think, will have a big game. It's just going to be – I think it's going to be too much for the 49ers to overcome. I think they'll be on the field a lot on defense to start the game, and they'll just be too gassed. And, yeah, I think the Seahawks win. I'm going to take them by 6.
Yeah, like everyone's been saying, I do think the Niners have a real shot this week, and it literally comes down to Darnold. Similar to, how I think the Broncos game is going to come down to Knicks. Houston last week came down to Stroud. I mean, really the defense, but then again, if Stroud had more turnovers, they probably lose that game. You know what I mean? So I think Darnold really comes down to him. Limit the turnovers, limit the mistakes. But he's got a hell of an offense that he can be really efficient with. And I do think, like Caleb said, the Niners defense will be out on the field a lot, especially maybe to start the game. It's home in Seattle. Seattle might, Niners might win the toss and defer. And honestly, I think if the Niners win the toss, they should just freaking receive it and try to get it going there.
CMC
Because
right away.
literally try to get it going there. It's your division rival, so automatically I think it's a toss-up just because of that. Divisional football is a whole different game, especially in the playoffs. But I think even though I have a really, really, really strong feeling that the Niners can win this game, I'm going to take Seattle by 10 just because Seattle's been off that bye. Seattle's just been they're coming off the bye. They've had a lot to prepare and they're not traveling anywhere, and it's just like that Seattle offense can come out swinging. I can see an easy 14 points being put up on their first 2 drives, and then it's the comeback game if Niners don't match them. So, but I don't think Seattle's much capable of coming back if they're down. So for me, it really depends on the start of the game. Really depends on the start of the game. But yeah, I'm gonna go Seattle by 10.
I like it.
I do want to say though, I have Seattle by 7. He has them by 6. He has them by 10. I feel like it's we all think collectively that it's not ridiculous to see a Niners win here. Like we will not be like the
Toss up.
like even though we're saying like a score, maybe even 2 scores, like it's still gonna be. Obviously, you pick the Niners.
I
It
picked the
will be a
Niners
battle.
just because I think it could happen. And
It-
realistically, it
yeah,
could.
it-
And that's why I said 1 is just because it could come down to like a field goal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a winning field goal
Yeah.
or something. But
Yeah.
I mean, I expect the Seahawks to win. I'm just going to pick the Niners because why the hell not?
Like we'll
you know?
see. Like if I'm sitting on my couch and I watch the Niners win, I'll be like, I won't be surprised. Like
Yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, I could see
Absolutely
that.
not.
I could
Absolutely not.
very well see that happening.
Next game, Texans and Patriots, Sunday at 3 p.m. The Patriots are favorites. -3 is the spread, and they're at home. I guess I can get this party started. This is kind of a tough one for me, honestly. As we look back at last week's game against the Steelers, the Texans' defense is just ridiculous. They're going to keep them in any game, despite the Texans losing their number 1 receiver. That defense is ridiculous. They get after you. They don't do anything over complicated. They're not very, they're not a very complicated defense to, they don't disguise. They don't, do a lot of post-snap arrangements and stuff like that. They just get after you. And, that defensive line is ridiculous. They fly to the ball. I mean,
Yeah.
the corners, they
Stingley,
play them
Petrie.
some of the most man in the league, I think, because they can just cover so well. Stingley, they got Petrie in the slot. They got Randy Bullock as a safety. They got, so many defensive weapons.
That line.
And it's like they can play a lot of man, and they just get after you. And like I said earlier, they don't do anything overly complicated. They just execute at a very high level. With that being said, the Patriots are at home. Drake May's been playing good. I think the Patriots defense could really give some problems for C.J. Stroud not having any really good weapons. Christian Gonzalez is playing.
Gonzo's back, yeah.
And, I mean, they don't really have much weapons to, pass to. The running game is all right. I mean, obviously he had, like, a career day. But I'm going to take the Patriots with the spread -3. I think the spread looks good for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Might have to hit that on the bet slip.
That might have to do it because, the story is the Texans' defense. Nobody's talking about that offense. Nico Collins is out too. They got Christian Kirk. That's really about it. That defense though, Daniil Hunter, Derek Barnett, Will Anderson on that defensive line. Al Shire and like the secondary, like you were talking about. Defense is very good. I just don't know if that offense can outlast the Patriots defense. I think if the Patriots score 1 touchdown, maybe even or like 1 or 2 touchdowns, the Patriots will have that game wrapped up. But again, I might have to go with Zach here. Patriots by the spread, 3 points.
I really like the spread.
That spread is a very good spread.
-3, I kind of like it. Might have to add it to the slip. Sunday's slate.
Yeah, for this game, obviously, you can say all you want about the Texans' defense. Again, I say it comes down to Stroud, and I think, obviously May did not have his best game last week, but this week I think he's going to flip it all the way around, and he's going to have one of his better games against a top defense and really solidify the Patriots' whole run. A lot of people are dissing the schedule. You beat the Chargers in the playoffs, whatever. You beat a lot of bad teams in the regular season. But I think this is the week, and this should be the week for Drake May. If you want to go to the championship or even the Super Bowl, you cannot still have people doubting you based on your schedule. This is the week to prove everyone wrong against a really good defense. I got the Pats by 15
Holy shit.
this week. I think it's going to be an absolute bloodbath for Houston.
I like that.
It's going to be.
I like
I
that.
feel like it's going to be maybe not even too many turnovers from C.J. Stroud. I don't think C.J. Stroud's going to turn the ball over that much. I just think it's going to be the Patriots being efficient. And just scoring on their opportunities. And, maybe there is a fumble or maybe there is a C.J. Stroud interception, but I think the Patriots are going to work off of Houston's punts and not their turnovers. But I feel like New England's going to be, efficient with their scoring. And yeah, I got the Patriots by 15 this week.
I actually really like that take. I'm gonna take the Patriots by 10.
It's got to be Drake May's week. It has to be.
I think I was watching a little film the other day. I really like how the Patriots, are able to keep guys rested on their offense. I'm noticing, Ramondre and Travion Henderson splitting carries a lot. And in the playoffs, you got to have your guys well rested like that. During the regular season, it was pissing me off because I had Travion Henderson in fantasy. But when you're trying to win games in the playoffs, like, it's important to have your guys rested like this. And, they're even doing it with their receivers. Their O-line's finally healthy. Will Campbell's back. So the battle of the wills is going to be interesting for sure. I don't know. For some reason, I just really like the Patriots by 10 in this game. Like, their defense is really good. Milton Williams has been playing well as of late. Like you said, they got Christian Gonzalez back, which
Game changer.
I guess he's going to be guarding
He's
Christian
not a game
Kirk
manager. He's a game changer for sure.
because they really
As
don't
Cam
have
Newton
anyone
would say.
else for him to go. Fuck Cam Newton.
Honestly, they should hire Mike Tomlin for first take and get rid of Cam Newton. He's just those outfits. I'm sorry, dude. I just can't with the outfits. All right. Stephen A. would probably not like your outfits either. Get rid of the outfits. I don't like the hat and all where your hair's going through the hat and stuff.
He types
Whatever.
weird too.
Yeah, the typing.
The typing is font. But what was I saying? Oh, back to the game. Yeah, I don't even think the Texans score in this game unless it's defensively. It's going to be really tough for them to score. Patriots defense obviously got after it last week. The Chargers O-line, huge problem. And it's honestly the same thing with Houston's O-line. They've been trying to get a better O-line for C.J. Stroud. And honestly, it really hasn't changed that much since, he got there. They got a couple guys on the line now, but I don't know. I really like the Patriots in this game for some reason. It could be closer than 10, but I think the Patriots win by 2 scores.
Yeah,
They
I
got-
could definitely
they got a
see
squad.
that happening. Yeah.
And it's at home too. Houston plays in a dome in Texas, so could have some bad weather in the game. And I think Drake May prove some people wrong this weekend.
Some good takes right there, gentlemen. All right, last game of the divisional round. We got the Rams and the Bears. It is in
Damn, this is tough.
Chicago at Soldier Field. The Rams are
Snowing.
the favorites.
Gonna be
minus
snowing.
4. The Bears are the underdogs, plus 4. All right. I guess I'll get this party rolling once again. This is going to be a good game. I think it's going to be quite the shootout. I know the weather's super cold. Matt Stafford, regardless of what the record is, he's going to thrive in this situation.
Did good
I
against
think
Philly
Caleb
last year.
Williams is going to thrive in this situation. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game in the 30s range. I mean, despite what the weather is, fuck it. Like, they're going to be slinging that thing. Like, Stafford's going to find Puka Nacua.
No
Anytime
looker.
touchdown, he's probably minus odds, but lock it for the parlay. Puka Nacua. Like I said, but the Bears defense, I don't see them getting stops when they really need to. I think the Rams, they've had some struggles on the defensive end. I think they can get some stops when they need to. But I think it's going to be a shootout when it comes down to it. And I'd take Matt Stafford. He's been in this situation before. And I like the Rams. I'm going to take them by 3. So I'm going to go against the spread. I'm going to take them by 3. I think it's going to be a shootout of a game, like 30s range. I'm going to take them 36-33. That's going to be my final prediction. But I like the Rams in this one.
I would have to agree. Stafford's won a Super Bowl. He's been in the playoffs, these last few years with the Rams. Like you said, the outdoor record in the elements not as good, but he played. It's Matt Stafford. He played in Green Bay and Chicago every season for, like 12 seasons or whatever it was.
Minnesota moved outside
Right.
when the dome was getting built, the new stadium.
And I just like his experience. He, like I just said, he's won a Super Bowl. Their offense is pretty stacked. Devontae and Puka are both healthy, ready to go. They got 3 tight ends that can make plays at any time. They got 2 good running backs. Obviously, Kyron's elite. Blake Corum, when needed, is pretty good. But I do like it being a shootout. I think the Bears and Caleb Williams will put up a lot of points like they did last week, especially at home.
Especially in the fourth quarter.
Right. I just don't. I think that if they get down by that much against the Rams, it's going to be a lot different than it was against the Packers. I do like the Rams defense getting a few more stops, especially getting pressure and playing well in the front 7. I think it makes Caleb Williams make a couple mistakes, especially if they get down early like they did against the Packers. So I think the Rams win by 7.
Well, Sonny, I love you. Bears, I'm rooting for you. I really don't see it happen. This is where it's going to come down to these battle-tested teams and experience. McVay, he's been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1. Stafford's been to a Super Bowl, he's won it. They've been in the playoffs a lot. A lot of play experience on the other side of the ball. Ben Johnson, first year as a head coach. Caleb Williams, first time. Pretty much this whole Bears team, first time in the playoffs for the most part. I really just don't see a world where this Rams team does not win. I think this Rams team is going to prove why they belong and prove why they're one of the best teams and prove why they're pretty much the Super Bowl favorites. I think I have the Rams winning by like 13. I don't think it's going to be very close. I think, Caleb Williams is going to try his best, but there's only so much he can do. And I think it's going to look like 2 different games out there between both sides of the ball.
Okay, so I guess to wrap up this game and the whole weekend, yeah, the Rams are they. I really don't really see them losing. They've got a really complete team. The run game, the passing game, all of the above. The Rams got it. Chicago, yeah, they're on sort of. I mean, yeah, they're a 2 seed, but you could easily call this a Cinderella run for them, just even to start it, just because of the inexperience, because of the age of Caleb Williams and all that. But I am going to go the Bears this week. I'm gonna have them actually by 10 in this game, and that's not a discredit to the Rams. I easily think the Rams can win this game, but I think the situation is going to come down to at some point, the Rams might be up, the Bears might have the lead the whole time, whatever. But there might come a point where Stafford throws a pick or something happens, a 3-and-out or something, where the Bears get that leverage, they get that momentum, and the Bears be efficient. They'll score, they'll get that stop, whether it's a turnover, a 3-and-out, or whatever, and then they'll score again. And it might be close then, but then they might go up by 2 scores. And then it's the Rams playing comeback, and they can do that easily. But I just think the Bears are going to continue their run at least through this week and take the Rams by 10. I think just like kind of Drake May, Bears by 10. I think just kind of like I was talking about Drake May being this, really got to prove it week. I think it's the same for the Bears. I think it's the same for Caleb Williams. And if the Bears do win, like I'm kind of leaning towards, I think they will. I still think it's going to be really, really tough, whoever they play, especially if it's the Niners. But we'll get into that if that's the matchup that happens next week. But yeah, I got the Bears by 10. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think the Bears are going to be up by 10 the entire game. I literally think it's going to come down to a few plays near the end of the game where the Bears end up by 2 scores and the Rams got to play comeback, and they eventually fall short. That's what I'm going to go with. Bears by 10. So, Jake, who did you pick?
All right.
Jake picked the Rams by 13.
I picked the Rams by a touchdown.
And you picked the Rams by what, 4?
3.
3. So, lone wolf me, whatever, but I'm thinking the Bears. I'm taking the Bears this week.
All right. I like it. Good picks
Fair
all
enough.
around.
Yeah, some
Good
good
takes.
picks, gentlemen. Up for a good slate of some games starting
stressing.
tomorrow. You got the Bills and Broncos, and then at 8 p.m. the Niners and the Seahawks, and then Sunday at 3 we got the Texans and Patriots. And at 6:30 we got the Rams and the Bears. Definitely going to be some good games regardless of what happens, but looking forward to the games this weekend for
I
sure.
gotta say, I love this Sunday slate just in terms of start times on the Eastern Coast, man. Like doing what was it, 3 o'clock and 6:30? Like that's freaking beautiful. That's what you want to see on a Sunday. You don't want to see the 8 p.m.s and stuff. Like, I mean, granted, Monday is Martin Luther King Day, so I know a lot of people have off, but no matter, I love that time slate. And yeah, I think we had some good takes and good picks and all that this week, and we were a little more diverse than last week in terms of the picks, but this should make for another good week of football. I don't think, obviously, a lot of people were talking high about last week and all the close games and stuff. I think that'll continue, even though I might have picked a few teams to win by more than a score. It will be
agree, though.
close. It will be close.
I think it's going to be some close, good games. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good slate of games. I will probably be betting this weekend. No shock to anybody.
Yep.
Hopefully, I win something.
Locks.
Any
got a lock?
locks? I'd say. He said coin toss. I like Puka Nakua to score. I like Christian McCaffrey to score. I mean, they don't have George Kittle. They don't really have any weapons, but.
I don't know.
I like Loveland's yards, definitely. Like 50
Yeah.
plus yards, I could see him catching 50 plus yards. I don't know.
I don't know exactly the line, but if you can find out what Josh Allen combined yards, like passing and rushing, I would bet a lot of money on the over for that, because it's really gonna come down to him. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's got to put that cape on and bring that team to another victory. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a game I'm hoping for. I really want the Bills to win. I'd like to see them, move to the next round. It's going to be a tough one, but
yeah, it'll be close.
we're going to find out. Anything else to add, gentlemen? Brady, Jake, anything? Some quick additions?
I think my lock. What's my lock of the week?
I don't mind.
You do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Josh Allen anytime touchdown.
Easy.
I mean, it's
easy.
it's a lock. It's a lock.
My lock's a money line, and it's the Patriots. I'm just gonna say. And I know last time I was gonna say something about, I think it was Josh Allen or someone, and I'm like, I'll save it for next week. Truth be told, I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Should have wrote it down.
Yeah. Whatever, man. You know what? I got something for you, and I'll say it next week.
He's saving it for next week.
He's
gonna Yep.
remember this time.
I'm just like Netflix. I'm pushing it off. I'll think of something this week. So, but yeah, my lock of the week is Patriots. But if we're going scores, anytime touchdown is the one that I like to lock. I don't really like looking into locks for yards and all that. I'm going to do two. I'm going to do one for the AFC and one for the NFC. My lock for the NFC, like I said, is a Loveland touchdown. I think it'll happen. My lock for the AFC, I'm going to go with a Woody Marks receiving touchdown.
Well, if I have
Crazy
one more
takes.
lock, I do like the Rams spread. What was the Rams spread? -4.
-4, yeah.
I do like the Rams -4. And then one last thing I'd say, I'd like to thank Zach, Caleb for having us on.
Yeah.
Having us on.
Sure
It was a great
thing, dude.
time.
It's always fun to have some guests on. We're definitely going to do that again in the future, get some new guests on. I'd like to have, Jake back on. He did a great job with his takes. We have a lot of fun
Rest
on
in
the show.
peace, the birds.
Brady, always brings some good information and some good
Good takes.
analytical takes. He really kind of dives into those takes, like how he kind of dives into that. But I think that's about it that we got for this episode.
Shout out Landshark.
Last
Yeah,
thing I
shout
gotta
out
say-
Landshark, and actually shout out R2D2. Did you set that up?
Yeah, R2D2.
Shout
a
out
real one.
R2D2. Any Star Wars fans out there?
Funny
That's been
enough,
sitting
this is
there
actually
the entire time.
this is actually a bop it. You bop the head, you twist that, and then you pull the legs. It's actually a bop it R2D2, but I don't think it's got batteries in it. But
Yeah,
That's
it's been
cool.
sitting there the
Shout
whole
out
time. I kind
R2D2.
of noticed it earlier, and then I was going to shout it out at the end. So
I was like,
Shout out
podcast
Star Wars,
always
any
has
Star
shit
Wars
on their
fans.
Yeah.
desks. You gotta put stuff there. So.
Facts.
Put
And
R2.
if you want to see us do another episode in here, this is pretty
pretty
sweet
nice
setup. A lot of lights, a lot of sports memorabilia. Nice table here, some nice chairs and stuff. But remember, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Once again, we're 3 subscribers away, guys. 3
3 for tomorrow.
for tomorrow. Okay.
Nah,
From
jokes-
doing a live stream.
Jokes
so we
aside,
need
I know
3, please.
I know I
3
joked a little bit
subscribers.
about DeMar and his pec injury. Obviously, when he went down, like that was devastating. You never want to see that happen. But yeah, 3 subscribers away. Make it happen. And thank you for listening to the No Game Plan podcast, where we are all built for speed.
One more thing. Keon Coleman, lock the fuck in, buddy.
Lock in, buddy. 2 more weeks. 3 more weeks. Come on.
You got it. I have faith. I have faith. You know,
We're gonna see you.
he's
We're
going to
gonna
go
see you
out
tomorrow
there.
night.
I think he's going to have 50-plus yards. I think he's going to Riley Moss for a touchdown and, prove everyone wrong, which I hope he does because all my friends hate on him, and I'm the only one left who actually believes in him. So,
And last and most
Lock in.
importantly, guys, share our channel. All right, 3 subscribers away. All right, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.